Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm a Boeing 737 pilot and member of PMDG's tech team. So, as promised, Microsoft has released the 40th anniversary edition of Microsoft Flight Simulator, and that one includes the A310, the DC-3 and a lot of other goodies. But before we are going to start with the actual A310, because I'm 100% sure that that is what everybody of you is here for, let's quickly have a look into another little aircraft and another little flight. I promise this is not gonna take long. We will head over into the A310 in a moment, and we will get that one flying in a moment. But before we start with it, let's quickly head over to the world map. Yes, you can see I did a little experiment with it already, but I promise I didn't actually do too much. We have the bell, that's nice, but what I am actually looking for is down here, the Wright Flyer. Cruise speed, 23 knots, max altitude, 20 feet, range, 1 nautical mile. And let's bring that one on to the Kill Devil Hills. And let's do a very quick first flight over there before we start off with the A310. So, Fly Louis, be sure to download the improvement pack of the A310 in the marketplace. Until just now, I haven't even been aware that there was any, so I will do that in a few moments. In the meantime though, here we are on the Wright Flyer. And let's just take a very quick first flight. Let's see. That's up and down. And I believe in the back, yeah. Here's left and right. Alright. What an engine this is. What an engine. 2 propellers. Okay, off we go. Set takeoff thrust. Do we have any speed indicator? Probably somewhere there on the right hand side. Yeah, that does seem to be one. Well, won't matter too much. And we're flying. Stuck in the ground effect, but we are flying. So let's see if I try to take this out of the ground effect. What is gonna happen? Okay, not a lot. This is actually all not that easy. Let's see, can we do turns? Slightly left. Yeah. Slightly right. This actually flies pretty nice in turns. Okay, let's get it over the end of the runway, and then we'll try to land it in the grass. I don't want to scratch any of that valuable wood down here. I have a feeling some people would try to kill me if I scratched the Wright Flyer. Okay, and we're down. Okay. That's another way to brake. Because my engine isn't reacting when I try to switch it off. But here we are. Okay. Nice first flight. Just had to do this one. Sorry, guys. Alrighty, so that was our little first flight. And then Fly Louis, A310-300 enhanced. So let's try to find that. Oh, that was already. 6.7 gigabytes, okay. That is gonna be quite a thing then. But let's get and download that. And while that is downloading... Okay, just a gigabyte, that's quick then. So while that is downloading in the background, what do we actually get from the enhancement pack? that we don't have in the default version. Have anything on that? Available anywhere here? No, it doesn't. Oh, this upgrade for PC offers 4K exterior and interior textures, modeled passenger cabin and functional passenger flight screens that provide basic aircraft operational information, including altitude and airspeed. Okay. So that sounds quite good. That's the livery I wanted to see. And that one. So which are we gonna fly today? The World Travel or the Orbit? Well, I featured Orbit a couple of times already, so let's go World Travel today, shall we? What do you guys think about it? Vilasses, brakes weren't invented in 1904. CK UK Mail, and if you run the IndyBuilds Manager, you can download a lot of other liveries as well. Okay. Alright, so you guys are convinced about World Travels, so let's definitely gonna do that. And I believe tomorrow I'm gonna do a live stream with Lufthansa or something the likes. But for today, we'll go classic today. We'll go classic. And I thought a little bit about what we could actually fly with it. Now, I don't want to go to Kai Tak straight away, even though we have the new Kai Tak scenery available, but nah, let's not do that. Let's not do that. So, I believe if we do something nice and simple, maybe Munich to Cologne? Does that sound like something? And Daniel, where's the PMDG update? To be honest, I don't know. I spent the last couple of days mostly on the King Air and the GTN and the Cessna 310. So over the last couple of days I did not actually spend a lot of time with PMDG. And Daniel thought it was this week. To be entirely sure? Not that I'm aware of. Okay, anyway. So the 310 is updated. Then let's go and fly a little bit. We'll go somewhere over here. Now, totally new aircraft, so let's actually head out for a route that I more or less know. So, let's go to Munich. We'll put it somewhere down here. On an external stand, because I disabled GSX. I was a little bit too afraid that it might crash my simulator. And we'll take something during daytime as well. Okay, I would say that looks pretty good. It would look even better if we selected the correct aircraft, of course. Don't need that anymore. And we do, however, need this. Alright. I would say that looks pretty good, so let's go and fly. Now, just to be entirely clear here, I have not actually flown the A310 before, so this is going to be my very first flight. The only thing I did so far was to actually load it up, and I basically didn't do anything with it yet. Well, I searched for the manual. Thank you very much once again to the lovely guys in my Discord who helped me out finding it. And apart from that, here we are, ready to fly, shutting down. The very first thing I notice here, that it is a lot louder than any of the other aircraft I have. A lot louder than any of the other aircraft I have. And it is a little bit more laggy as well, at least since I installed the enhancement pack from the marketplace, but doesn't matter too much. It certainly runs. So, Daniel, have you downloaded the Zimbri profile for the 310? Link on the Inibuild forums. No, I have not yet. But, then again, I don't want to use any uplinks or so today, so let's take it nice and easy and just try to go from here. So, I did download the manual, as said. And Daniel, if you have the link, sure enough, you can put it in the Discord. So, guys, this is the manual, very worth having a look at. You do, of course, also have some in-game checklists, but let's forget about those for today, and let's use the actual aircraft checklist that comes with the A310. So, there is a simplified and an enhanced, more detailed checklist available. Now, let's quickly go over that stuff. Here's our normal checklist, by the way. Definitely worth printing that one out. But we do have it in the EFB as well. So this is like the simplified checklists. And we do have some little bit more detailed ones available a little bit lower down in the manual. And this is pretty much what I will be using for today. So this is like how many pages? Probably far too many. Yeah, pretty much far too many. Anyway, that looks about fine to me. Landing technique, yeah, I should probably look into that. 50 feet, look towards the end of the runway. 20 and 30 feet, simultaneously raise the nose 1 or 2 degrees. Caution, tail strike occurs at 11 degrees. Yeah, that sounds like a 737. A tail strike at 11 degrees, really? The airplane doesn't look that... Yeah, okay. I have to accept that. I kind of thought, since it's a rather not so long aircraft, it might not get a tail strike so easily. But looks like I will be wrong, and looks like I will probably have to accidentally demonstrate that. Anyway, you guys see what I mean, and that is what we're going to be using. So let's head right into the aircraft and try to do something in here. So, expanded procedures. Batteries. Check all battery lights are off. They're up here and they're off. So, put them into order. Should be all lights extinguished. We do have that. Hydraulic panel. Check the pumps are off. So that's up here and they're all off. Wiper switch is off. Gear lever down. Flap slat handle is up. Reversal levers down. Fuel levers off. Weather radar. Where's that one? Probably somewhere down here, I would guess. Yeah, down here. And it's off. So, APU fire test. Where do we find this? It's an Airbus, it has to be up here. And it is. Surprise. Okay, so, APU test. It works! Okay, so external power if available on, and it is available. Let's put that one on. Then, let's start the APU as well. We want to see what this airplane can do, right? So, inner tank pump 2 switch. That is inner tank pump 2 on. APU master switch to on. And APU start switch. Well, first of all, fuel pump low pressure light illuminates, then extinguishes. Yeah, well, we've had that. Then, starter switch on. And when APU avail light illuminates, APU generator on. Okay. It's probably gonna take a little while now. Let's see our ECAMs. Where are the switching panels? Do we actually have any switching panels for this at all? I honestly don't know. Well, we must have some. It's an Airbus. And down here, yes. So we're gonna clear that. And we want to see our APU. That thing seems to be running, is it? Well, I don't know, but let's wait a little bit. We do have power from the external power, so let's go on. And go for the IRS mode selectors. They've got to be somewhere up here. I do see an entry panel. So, number 1, into nav. So, battery light, and that should extinguish in a moment. Yes. Number 2, and number 3. Okay. That looks somewhat familiar. It's an Airbus after all. Okay, all 3 of them in a line. Then display selector to present position, that's where it is, and system display to number 1, that's what we have. Okay. Oxygen low pressure supply switches on. Where do we find those? They have to be somewhere over here. If anybody of you sees them, do let me know. Kinda doing my panel scan here right now, trying to find them. Oxygen low pressure supply switches. Here they are. Okay, on. Annunciator light test. That is probably somewhere here, yeah. Okay, and all of that stuff does illuminate. Ouch, that's not a very good seating position. Alright, they're tested and VHF radios as required. So that leads us right to the flight deck preparation, which leads us to the FMC. Alright, so we are sitting in an A310, the database is up to date, let's go to init. We probably have some IRS stuff somewhere over here. Align IRS, where do we do that? Ah, okay, I should just about follow the manual, that might make things easier. So, going from Munich to Cologne today. We don't have a company route, we don't need one. Alternate is gonna be Düsseldorf. Latitude and longitude, they do look about right, so let's press Align IRS. Perfect, that's what we had to do. Cruise level is gonna be 300. And we'll be the world travel. I have no idea what kind of call sign they're using. 310. Okay, cost index. Well, you know what, guys? This is the good old days. Let's go cost index 50 and see what that's gonna give us. So, flight plan. Munich, sit, runway. What is actually active? Wait a moment, we can request that, can't we? Yeah, ACARS, HOTAS. Very good. And I would like my Munich weather, please. And if we're on it already, we'll take the weather from Cologne as well. Send. And it says company message received. Okay, let's have a look into where we actually got that company message. If anybody of you knows their way around the aircraft, then you are very welcome to just about tell me. Otherwise, I'll just have to start searching. I guess that would work as well, but you know. Okay, well, looks like... Yeah, okay, that was too easy. That was literally too easy. And Andrea, I'm not sure if it has Hoppy ACARS integration, but we'll see. I guess we'll find out. So let's have a look. Munich, they're reporting 800 meters visibility. RVR 08 are actually decreasing. Okay, that is not very good weather. But as far as I'm aware, The A310 should be perfectly certified for perfectly certified for Category 3 operations. So let's have a look into if it can actually do that or not. Okay, in the meantime, I'm currently trying to find a valid route for our flight, and I think I've just about found one. So, give me a second, and we'll just about have it. It looks like we will be flying a little bit lower today. So, the new plan is flight level 240, and that should be pretty much my SimBrief plan finished as well. So, from that weather, it looked like we are taking off on 08 left then. So, sit 08 left. Give me 6 Quebec is what it is. Insert. And now comes a good question. How do we actually insert our airways into this one? But, well, it's an Airbus, it probably works the same way like any other Airbus, but let's see. Give me... Oh yeah, via and go to. Okay. So if we tell it now Yankee 101 slash Ernest, then that's probably all we'll need. Yep, it is. Okay, then from here on, Yankee 161 towards Golmo. Did it not take it now? Or what just happened? Don't want to enable an alternate. Did I press the wrong button? Ernest. Tango 161 slash Golmo. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, then direct Arcanu. Lima 603 Rotten. Direct Spesa. Direct Ass-Kick. And just a note for the YouTube algorithm, this is a waypoint name assigned by the Deutsche Flugsicherung. This is not me insulting anybody. And finally, Tango 840 towards Gulko. Okay, from there on, Cologne, Star, ILS 14 left, and we will have the Gulko 14 transition. Insert. So, do we have a good routing now? Clear the discon, I guess we don't need that anymore. And that is our routing inserted, okay. Perfect. We'll do the rest of the FMC later. Now, according to the book, we are gonna start on the panel, so... No smoking on. Hydraulic power panel. Well, basically it tells me to extinguish any white lights. Well, I hardly see white lights over here, but I do see some of those low pressure lights. Do we have to do anything with those? Tells me engine fuel pumps auto. Hydraulic low pressure light illuminated amber. Okay, so the pumps do seem to be in auto and the lights are illuminated. Okay. Then servo panel illuminated, flight recorder switch, where is it? Up here, ground control goes on. Let's try to do it that way, that's probably easier. Then, lights panel. Those are going off, nothing logo can go to 1, and the strobe light can go to auto. Then ATS lever on. Pitch trim and yaw damper levers on. Electrical power panel. So IDG disconnect switches. Safetied. Lovely, that can only be a word coming from a French company. General inter-fault lights illuminated. Battery switches check auto. And that's already it. I wonder why we don't press anything on the galley button. I mean, we don't have to shut the galley here, do we? At least I don't see any reason for it. But well, we can't have it all, I suppose. Okay, then. Let's do the engine fire tests. What is that button on the top here? That agent test? Okay. And that is completed as well. Then elect IND. Now what does IND stand for? Anyway, select emergency and essential. So we have emergency and essential. Okay. Then let's go on. Fuel panel. If fueling in progress, do not change pump configuration. Well, that sounds about like a good moment then to actually load up our aircraft. So, where do we find that stuff? Oh, we do have pushback control, that's good. Anyway, we are looking for this. Also, I suppose. So, let's see. Fuel, how much are we gonna need? SimBrief says that we will need 8 tons of fuel. Wow. That is a lot. So, okay, holy moly, we can load 60 tons of fuel. That is going to be a huge range. But for now, 8 tons will have to cut it. Okay, I guess that's good enough. Then I told SimBrief we are using 140 or 150 passengers. Take a little bit of cargo as well. Let's see, gross weight planned 102.9, and in our aircraft we now have, zero fuel, 102.9, that's quite a difference. Okay, then we can take a couple more passengers. Okay, so that sounds about right now. Click apply, let's not do that in real time because we just, I have no clue how long this would take. 7.9 tons of fuel on board, that will have to cut the corner. Okay, then. So, fuel pumps with all fueling complete, all tank pumps on. Man, that is a lot of pumps here. Okay, and finally all the bars are vertical and the crossfeed is off. Okay, APU fire panel, check if not performed already, we did that. Then, main cabin pressurization panel. Let's go on. What do we have to do on here? Man press and amber arrow extinguished. I guess that's gotta be somewhere down, somewhere up here. Anyway, there is no light illuminated. System 1 and System 2 select switch illuminate green. 1 is illuminate green. Check cabin alt, differential pressure and cabin vertical speed for appropriate indications. So, cabin alt, that's showing around about 1,400, which equals the elevation of Munich. We have 0 vertical speed and the differential is 0, that makes sense. Rate limit knob to normal, that's over here and is normal, and the outflow valve indicator displays 0. Or displays O for open, okay. So they are completely open, that makes sense. Then, window heat switches on. Probe heat switch is on. Cargo compartment smoke detector, check. Okay, there's got to be a test switch somewhere. So, check smoke and discharge light extinguished. They are. Check switch covers safetied. They are. God, I have to learn that word. Loop test switch press. So, where is that? Where is the test switch? Anybody see the test switch? Certainly I don't. That's somewhere over here. No, doesn't look like it. Okay. Well, then I don't quite know where that test switch is. So let's just move on. I mean, we do have the loop tester here for the engine number 2, but that one should come separately if I'm not mistaken. At least according to the manual it does, so let's just about move on. Okay, that will have to do. Then vent panel. What do we have up there? Outboard valve flow bar illuminated. Okay, that's that one. That is illuminated. Okay. Emergency exit lights on. That has to be somewhere down here. Yeah, here it is. And that is armed. Air bleed panel. If APU bleed switches off, check X-feed flow bar vertical. Okay, so APU bleed is off and the bar is vertical. Okay, makes sense. And if APU bleed are available and switches on, well, let's just about test that. The APU is available now, so let's switch the APU bleed on. That's going on, that's going on. And we do hear our air conditioning system coming up. That's nice. Okay, perfect. So, let's just about keep that on. Then, compartment temperature panel. Econ flow on. Where's that? Yes. Here it is. Econ flow on. If press indication is normal, APU on, check pack valve flow bars illuminated. Where are the pack valve flow bars? Up here, okay, and they're illuminated. Then, if press indication is low, that is not the case. Hot air supply valve reset. I guess that was it. And all rotary switches as required. Compartment selected as CRT. That's up here and is in CRT. And bulk cargo isolation valve reset. Where is it? Bulk cargo isolation valve. Anybody see that one? Nope, doesn't look like it. Okay. So, then let's go on. Pack temp panel, check all mode selectors in auto. And they do certainly seem to be in auto. Yep. Right, perfect. Oxygen panel. Is that on the overhead or is that on the sides? Probably has to be on the sides then. No? 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 Okay. Where is the oxygen panel? Comes the next big thing of searching. Has to be that one on the left here, right? No, that's just the loudspeaker and the service interphone. Okay, that's not it. Then let's keep searching. We are gonna find it eventually. Hidden anywhere here? In the back there? No, that's just... let's call it flight engineer stuff. And I don't have any click spots over here anyway. Do we have it on the FO side maybe? No. Okay. Well, then we can't find our oxygen panel. Let's see, what does the manual say? Man override switch safety, green arc extinguished, and cylinder gauges check. Okay, so that's not really something that we could lose there. And sit place, how's the performance? Well, I get a slight bit of lag, so it's not as good as, for example, the PMDG or the Phoenix, but it's not all that bad either. So in my opinion, it is playable. Okay, I cannot find that oxygen panel. I can't find it. Well, then we just gotta continue on. So, EV's control panel, set brightness. Well, I would say those brightnesses look good to me. So, flight director switches on. They're on both sides. Nav switches to nav, which is where they are. And decision height set -5. Okay. Then, flight guidance panel. Let's go for this. Initial climb is gonna be 70. The heading 260. Vertical speed. Stay where it is. Don't know where to set the auto throttle to yet. I guess we just gonna do that later. Captain switch panel. Illuminate any lights that... extinguish any illuminated lights. Well, that's the case. Then, standby airspeed indicator. Where's that? That's the standby? That looks like primary. But that seems to be the standby. Okay. Anyway, that's indicating 0. Well, basically, anything here is pretty much indicating what it's supposed to. Only thing here, let's go live weather. That's better. And then, of course, (1034). Okay. Nope. This one is what we're looking for. And here we go. 1034, reading 1500. That looks about accurate. Here's our elapsed timer. Okay. That's all set. That's all set. Anti-skid is on. Can we set our auto brake already? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay. Well, then we're just about gonna pass over that. Then that looks about everything alright. And so does the speed brake is stowed, flap stowed. Fuel lever soft, parking brake set. And guard frequency active, transponder is on standby, system number 1. That looks about alright. Trim is set to 0, weather radar is off. Okay. So I would say that looks basically pretty good. So let's quickly complete the rest of our FMC setup then. We now have the route in, secondary flight plan. Oh nice, we have a secondary. Okay, so copy active. That is still the secondary. So let's put our emergency routing in here. So Munich 08 left /080/25. Is that how the 310 understands it? No. Maybe by using Boeing terminology? No. And if you just do it from the airport itself, maybe it knows that. Also no. Okay. Then one last try. No? Okay. Good. Then we can't create a user waypoint here. That is unfortunate, but if that's what it is, then that's what it is. So let's do this real quick. Cruise level 240. Cruise winds, we should have that in our flight plan. And that is going to be 109 at 11. At a temperature of 7 warmer than standard, so... well, that default is not correct. That is certainly not the correct ISR temperature for flight level 240. Do I really have to calculate that by heart now, or do we have that available anywhere? Oh, we do have it in the OFP, of course, -26. Okay, can't enter that. Well, that's gotta be fine for me. Anyway, let's continue with the performance then. So, in it, next page. So, block fuel 7.9. Zero fuel weight, we have 102.8. And that gives us 110 tons, which equals the EFB. And the center of gravity, do we have that anywhere here? 27.5. Okay. And that looks pretty much all alright. Good. Then let's do our takeoff calculation. So, where do we get all that lovely... Oh, we have to enter it ourselves? Is that... Okay, that's interesting. Anyway, Tora is... Yep, pretty much 4,000 meters. Let's take a wet surface, runway QDM 080, wind, variable 1, so let's just take wind 260 at 5 knots, gives us a little bit of tailwind. Then we are calculating conservatively. Temperature 3, QNH 1034. Okay, 3 and 1034. Aircraft configuration, weight, we said we are going to be at 110.6. So 110.6 flaps. I don't know what the default setting is, but 1515 sounds good to me. We definitely need anti-ice, and we're gonna put it all on. Air conditioning can stay on as well. Let's do some calculation. 110.6. That's probably better. Calculate. Okay, so speed 57 degrees flex, 34, 36, and 150. Okay. So takeoff approach. And then we have 134, 136, and can we just enter 150 over here? No, okay, then we have to do it like this. 150. Flat retract, slat retract clean. Acceleration is 1,000 each, that looks good to me. Actually, let's make that 2,500 each. Okay, perfect. And finally on the TRP, enter flex temperature. How do we do that? Here we are, flex takeoff, and we have 57 degrees. Okay. So that is our pre-flight procedure completed. Took a little while, but we have made it. Only took, I don't know, too long. Philip, what about GSX? Does it work? To be honest, I don't know. I have just killed the Throttle engine because I was a little afraid it might act up. So I can try it if you guys want to, but if it crashes to desktop, then we'll have to start from scratch again. So you guys tell me in the comments if you want me to give that a try or not. And while I'm waiting for you to tell me that, let's go ahead in the meantime and start with our before start checklist down to the line. Cockpit prep completed, signs on and auto, fuel quantity. We have 7.8 tons on board. Navigation checked set, landing elevation. Do we need to set that manually? And if so, how do we do it? Let's go back a bit again in the tutorial. In the manual, I mean. But there is nothing in there. Okay. No, it doesn't look like it. Okay. Oh, we should probably be able to see it somewhere on the pressure panel, maybe? No? Okay, well, I guess we are just gonna find out in flight then. So, altimeters 1034, reading 1500, and braking and anti-skid, normal and on. Okay, before start checklist completed, down to the line. Okay, you guys have made quite a clear Ah, wait a moment. Landing elevation. Is it? Yeah, it's this one. Thank you so much, Cabanos. That was the trick. So, landing elevation is going to be 300 feet. Perfect, thanks. I kind of just saw this and thought, well, that has to be some sort of an altitude alerter. Okay, so we are pretty much done with this. Now, before we start up our engine, there was a question there to show the passenger cabin. So let's do that. So here's our front galley. Oh, nice how the sound changes. Good job there. And our passenger cabin. It's pretty quiet back here. Welcome aboard the A310. Well, actually that is quite a beautiful cabin model, I have to say. Let's sit down here for a second. That is really a beautiful cabin model. That even beats the Phoenix. Man, who would have thought that I would ever say I see a nice cabin? Can we do something? No, okay. Well, that would have been asking for too much, huh? Okay. Well, that is a beautiful cabin. Absolutely beautiful. I'm really blown away right now. I'm really blown away. And a little bit of French as well. Sortie, exit. Wow. That is what I call an emergency exit row. I would know at least one airline that would for sure put another row of seats in here. Is there anything in the toilets? No, can't enter them. Okay. But that is an absolutely beautiful cabin. That is really impressive. That is really impressive. And what a huge galley. As a 737 pilot, man. Don't let my boss know. He would easily stick 5 rows of seats in here. Alright, for now though, we gotta close this one because we are about to start our engines. And Dreamline GT, the cabin just got added with the additional download from the what's it called? From the marketplace. Alright, so as we're about to start the pushback, let's just about as well bring in our landing fees, cause somebody will have to pay for them. And MPS Gaming, we will do a more complete tour of the cabin once we are en route. But for now, let's go ahead with our before start checklist. So, pushback we have in the EFB, that's very good. Then let's go ahead. Cockpit preparation. No white switch light illuminated. Okay. I do certainly not see any. Signs on and auto. Fuel quantity. So we have 7.8 tons up here. Let's have a quick look at the fuel display as well. Here it is. That is quite a complex fuel management system there, but looks about alright to me. So, nav radios are set, FMS is computed, landing elevation set, altimeters are set, takeoff config warning system check. How do we do that? Can we just do this? Yep. Okay. And brakes any skid on, down to the line. And once pushback clearance granted, do the stuff below the line. Okay, windows, doors, closed. Beacon, on. Park and brake, on. And we'll put the transponder on as well. We are not going to fly online today, because we're still learning the plane. So before start checks below the line, windows, doors, closed, beacon, on, park and brake, set, before start checks complete. Then I saw a pushback tool somewhere here. Where is that? Here it is. So GPU is gone, APU is feeding the system. So that should be pushback active, I believe. So let's go ahead and release our park and brake. No? Why aren't we moving? Do I need to do anything more? Ah, they are still connecting the tuck. Okay. That's fair enough. John Francis, thank you very much for the $20 donation. That is much appreciated. And we're moving. The MPS Gaming looks good aircraft to be a freeware. If I'm totally honest with you, it looks like a very, very, very good aircraft. So far we could do everything we wanted to. So far I'm really impressed with it. Okay, stop the pushback please. Park and brake set. And we can start our elapsed timer, which we have... Which one is it? This one. You know, that's the chrono, that's the elapsed, that's what I want. Okay. So, good. Engines. Area is clear to start, then ignition selector. If captain pilot flying, select A. So that's A. Confirm arm lights illuminate. Check pack valve flow bars extinguish. Okay, the pack flow bars are off. Perfect, then. Start number 2 engine first to ensure all brake availability. Engine start switch press at 20% and 2 fuel lever on. And 1 must be obtained within 30 seconds from reaching into idle speed. Okay. So, start number 2. And 2. And 1. %. Fuel lever on. Oil pressure is coming. Aviation Muse 13, how's the frame rate? It just got a little bit worse when I started the engine start. So let's try again. Now let's start the left engine. But now the frames is good again. So it's alright. The frames is a tiny bit worse than the 737 or the Phoenix. But apart from that, it is running alright. So we have N2, N1, oil pressure, 20%, fuel on. Okay, 45%, the open light extinguishes. Yes, it does. And that looks like we have a good engine start. Okay, so after start flow, ignition off, APU bleed, off if both engines running, leave on if single engine. So we're on both engines, so APU bleed off, APU master off, anti-ice on invisible moisture. Yes, we definitely have icing conditions. So engine anti-ice on and wing anti-ice on as well. Speed brake arm. Rudder trim reset, check 0. It's 0. And the trim set position for appropriate CG calculated on load sheet. Okay. So we said we need trim of 5 up. Okay. 0.5 up. Here we go. Then call for after start checklist. Pitch trim. Set. Rudder trim. Over here. 0. Spoilers. Armed. Flap slats. So that's 15-15 selected. Waiting for them to come down now. (15-15) indicated. So, ecam status. Checked. Anti-ice on, hand signal received, after start checklist complete. Okay, so let's give it a try. We'll turn off to the right, nose light taxi. Where are the turn off lights? Here they are. On. Brake released. The thing starts rolling in idle already. Okay, brake check. Let's give it a bit of thrust. And off we go. Clear on the right. So far, I'm really impressed with the Airbus. Let's see if it can hold up to my expectations. Do we have a TOGA switch, by the way, anywhere? Looks a bit strange that we have vertical speed and heading showing on the FMAs. So if anybody knows if there's a TOGA switch or how we can get the FMA into takeoff mode, then that would certainly be a much appreciated piece of information. That's getting a bit fast here. Oh, that brake is effective. Look at the ground speed. And I'm really just barely touching the brakes. That's quite a strong brake for sure. clear on the right, and clear on the left. Okay, then flight control track. Up, down, neutral, left, right, neutral, rudders, left, right, neutral. Okay, that's Alpha 3 next to the right. Then in here we need profile mode. And nav mode. And that's our Cat 2 and 3 holding point up here. We are definitely gonna stop over here while we carry out the rest of our checks. Brake set. At the same time, quick look from the outside. Okay, there's still a bit of distance left, because it's always not very easy for me to adapt to a new aircraft for proper taxi procedures. So that's better. Okay, then auto brake max, transponder set on, weather radar 1 and 2 on odd or even days. Okay, then let's use number 1. We'll switch off the terrain so that we have our weather indication, and we'll use terrain on the FO side. And takeoff config test. So where's the takeoff config test button? Probably down here? Yeah. So let's get the park and brake off. I don't get any warning. Ah, need to hold it, okay. So config takeoff test normal. Very good. Then, before takeoff checklist, down to the line. Flight controls checked, briefing confirmed, sleds flaps, 15. Performance FMS, check, and we have 134, 136, 150. Takeoff config checked, transponder set, before takeoff checklist completed, down to the line. Then let's do our lineup actions. So, brake fans off, they should be somewhere here, and they're off. Light set. Ignition as required. Continuous is advised on runways with standing water, heavy rain, or expected rain or turbulence after takeoff. Okay, don't have that. Packs, we calculated them on for the takeoff, and TCAS into... which of the two is Tara? That's interesting. Tara is in the middle, but, well, we'll take that. Okay, before takeoff check is below the line. Cabin secure, TCAS, Tara, packs on. Ignition off, anti-ice on. Before takeoff checklist complete. Okay, let's line up on the runway, and once we are lined up, let's quickly read ahead in the manual so that we know what is about to come. Igor, that looks amazing. Is this A310 a study level aircraft? I don't want to answer that yet, but so far the manual looked pretty complete and we could do everything, so My first impression is yes, we are going towards study level with this. But ask me the question again in a couple of days' time, and then I'll be able to give you a better answer. Alright, so lined up on the runway. Park and brake set. Let's quickly read ahead in the manual. So, for our takeoff, throttles advance slowly until both engines reach at least 40% and 1. Once stabilized, advance throttle to takeoff position. But we don't seem to have a takeoff position like in the A320, do we? So that seems to be like we have to set our thrust manually here. Correct me if I'm wrong, I might very well be wrong. I might very well be wrong. I can't imagine the A310 doesn't have an automatic switching. But anyway. Then, rolling takeoff is recommended where possible. Well, not gonna do that now. Go levers trigger. For the simulation, the ATC-COM button can be used to activate go levers. Now, what are go levers? I've never heard that, gotta be this one down here. But I never heard the term go levers yet. If anybody knows what that is, then I'd be very happy if you could answer that. And for those of you asking, yes, I do have an RTX 3080 Ti. Okay, so we rotated V1, rotate towards 12.5 degrees, then the pitch attitude indicated by the SRS pitch command bar. The pitch command bar will command to maintain V2 plus 10. Then retract the gear, order the autopilot, at thrust reduction altitude, confirm TRP limit mode indicates CL in auto setting. If TRP is not in auto, set auto or CL. Confirm throttle levers reduce to climb thrust and announce FMA indication. Okay, Alec, there is a toga button. In your perspective, is it this one? Is that a... No. Where is the toga button? Where is it? You say it is in my perspective. Okay, so we have... Well, no toga on here. Where else could it be? Well, that doesn't seem to be it. Where is that toga button, guys? Does anybody know it exactly? I don't want to mess my first takeoff up. Very left of the MCP, black button next to your warning. Ah! That is toga. Okay. Perfect. Then I know where my toga button is. Okay, I feel ready to go. Let's give it a try. Gray button on the side top. No? Okay, wait a second. Above the speed indicator. Okay, stand by. You mean that one, don't you, for the toga button? I mean, that could as well be a switch over for the mark, but where is toga? Left of the warning lights, further left, all the way to the left, the square button. Is it this one? Is that the toga button? Okay, seems to be it, yeah. Further left, black square button, yeah, perfect. So we do have our toga button now. Thank you very much, guys. Okay, so that sounds about good. Then let's release our brakes. So we're looking for 40%, they say. Okay, take off. Stabilized. Set takeoff thrust. Takeoff thrust set indications normal. 80 knots. V1, rotate. .5, positive rate. Gear up. Now we can follow SRS mode. Let's put the autopilot on straight away. Command 1. Okay, 2500. P thrust, P climb. Okay, that says climb, so that does seem right, and it's an auto. Perfect. So we're above the F. So flaps up. Why is it turning to the right? It's supposed to be turning left. Okay, and slats retract. Okay then, spoilers disarm, landing gear off. Packs on, lights. So nose and turn off can go off, they say. Landing lights may be left on until 10,000. And we're passing through the transition level. Set standard. Passing 4.9, climbing 7.0. And we can set that up quite a bit higher. Let's go flat out 190, something like that. Set. Why is it turning to the right? You should be going left. Well, it's kinda doing it. Okay, anti-ice can be selected off. Ignition is off, APU is off, after takeoff checklist. So, slats flaps, retracted, landing gear, up and neutral, packs, on, altimeters, standard. After takeoff climb checklist complete. Next up will be the approach checks. So that's nice, the thing can actually fly. Captain Steve, do the sun visors work? Yes. Now, do we have any on the sides as well? There are certainly holders for them, but doesn't look like it, no. Okay, so those sun visors here definitely work in the front. And we've passed level 100. Shouldn't we be accelerating now? At least I'm rather sure we should. Do we have any performance pages here? Why don't we get any beacon speed indication? Why is it just maintaining 250? It's not supposed to do this, is it? Anyway, let's climb all the way up to cruise level, 240, set, and 240 checked. So, landing lights off. Let's release our passengers. And we don't need the wing light either. Then, MPS Gaming, how does the aircraft feel? Heavy or as rocket as a 736? Well, now it's accelerating, passing 16,000, that's interesting. Anyway, let's just disconnect the autopilot and do a little bit of hand flying here, just to see how it actually feels. But my first impression was, I've been very careful with it, of course, and I put the autopilot in pretty much immediately after takeoff. So my apologies that I can't give you an exact answer, but let's just do a little bit of flying here. And it does feel to me like you do have a little bit of inertia in here. Certainly more than a 737-600. But yeah, it's a very early first impression. But it does feel to me like, yes, it seems to have a bit more inertia than the 736. Okay, autopilot back on. Now, for those of you interested, when we do the line training in the 737, so when we do our first flights, we pretty much fly it completely on autopilot, because the autopilot, as we say, knows how the airplane wants to be flown. And therefore, we let the autopilot show us how the airplane wants to be flown. And then that is what we do to fly it manually thereafter. So I'm just about to do the very same. Alec, A310 doesn't manage speed well. Into the INI tutorial he uses selected speed. That's interesting. And Yoke, I can't imagine how much Asobo and Microsoft paid INI builds to make this plane for a free release. If I would need to guesstimate, probably 200,000, 300,000 euros, something in that region. Well, it might be more. It might... I don't know. I mean, I know how expensive it is to develop study-level aircraft. Nonetheless, they had many of the systems available from the X-Plane versions already. Let's put it this way. If this was a completely new development, so if they had no information whatsoever available before, then I would have said that this was probably $500,000 to Microsoft. But since they did have a lot of information, I'm guesstimating more something in the region of 100 or 200,000 or something like that. Of course, that is a completely uneducated guess. Memo, Tatin icing range. Okay, well, we are outside any clouds, so that's not gonna play a role. 2,000 to go, let's try vertical speed mode. Here we go, vertical speed 2000. Let's bring it down to 1000 for the level off. That's a very smooth reaction we see here. Very, very smooth. I like it. Let's help our routing as well. Let's go direct to Dinku. Let's see how that works. Direct, Dinku, insert. Oh, up here, insert. Oh. Ah, that looks better. Okay, reaching up our cruise level. Alt star. It's reducing the vertical speed very early here. That's a very gentle level off. Not 100% sure if a real airplane would do this, but let's just assume that it would. So overall, here we are at cruise level 240. Then, thrust rating panel, check limit mode indicates cruise. Set manually if not in profile, so it does indicate cruise. Geeka memo status pages, review. So the memo says TUT in icing range and econ flow. Well, looking outside, we don't need anti-ice and econ flow is correct. Let's have a look into the status page as well. All normal. Okay, flight progress, check. Does anybody know if there is a possibility to filter the airports we see on the navigation display? Because it seems currently it's showing us pretty much anything that has a runway, and I would certainly like it to show me only things where the A310 can actually land on. So if there is any possibility to do some filtering there, that would be much appreciated. Also, let's put it to terrain and see what it is actually going to do for us. Apart from that, let's do a quick systems review and see what the overall thing is doing there. So, let's see down here. Do they have like an all key? No. Okay, then we just start over here. Engines. We have oil pressures, quantities, everything is in the green. Bleed pressure, fuel pressure, vibration. Okay, hydraulics. Quantities are good, pressure is good. Electrical AC, everything is indicating normal. Electrical DC, everything normal, 27 volts. The TRs are operating. Let's go to the bleed page. That looks kind of familiar from the Airbuses I know. Air conditioning, 23 degrees in all zones. Pressure. That looks interesting. Now that doesn't seem like 100% right, that the valves are completely closed. Now please correct me if I'm wrong. Are the indications we see over here the outflow valves? Because normally the outflow valves in a jet aircraft should be at least partially, well, a little bit open in flight. Because if the valves were completely closed, up here, that's the outflow valves, they are completely closed. Now that doesn't seem correct to me, because the way the pressurization system works in any transport category aircraft is that the packs pump in air with a constant rate, so you always get the same amount of air flowing into the aircraft. And then the outflow valves, by regulating them between closed and open, would regulate how much air is leaving the cabin again. And that would mean that since the packs are constantly pumping new air in, it would mean the outflow valves would have to be slightly open. Now I want to play with this. Let's go manual. This goes all off, okay? So let's just say we want the cabin to go slightly up. Okay, well that is not correct. Let's open them up completely, see what happens. Okay, no. With the outflow valves completely open, the system is showing us that they are completely open. The cabin pressure should be going haywire. So we should have a rapid decompression by now. Let's put them back into order, see what happens. Let's see. The system is telling us it's back in auto. Okay, no. There is something definitely not correct here. Let's close those once again. But that is not correct what it's doing here. I don't have to be a type-rated A310 pilot in order to know that when I'm opening the outflow valves completely, the cabin should be going nuts. So probably that means that this stuff is not simulated correctly. However, if I put something off here, it does give me the procedure. It tells me man cabin pressure on. That's probably this one. No, it tells me this one should be on. Okay, and then cabin press manual control. Let's try that once more, if something happens now. No. Okay. Well, that is certainly not correct. So, it is nice that it is showing us checklists for when we configure something incorrectly, but we should definitely have seen an increase in the cabin vertical speed here, which should have resulted in a rapid decompression. Alright, so that was just a very quick check that I wanted to do of those things there. Let's continue checking our panel. Let's have a look at the fuel panel. Why are these indicating amber? Are they supposed to do that? Did we switch anything off over here? No. Interesting. I wouldn't expect something amber when there is nothing showing on the overhead lights. But anyway, let's go on. APU, shutdown, flight control, all green, doors. Yeah, they better be closed now. And finally our wheels. Okay. So, overall, let's play a little bit more with the systems and see if the other systems are working correctly in manual mode as well. And Jago Vigo, those are the center fuel pumps. Center tank is empty. Okay, but should they be showing... Like, should they be showing in amber then? You know what? Let's try a little bit. Let's go to the fuel page. And I don't want to kill any engines, so let's put the thrust feed on. But we do have fuel in the outer left tank. Okay, so let's shut down the outer tank pumps. Bing, fuel, outer tank pumps off. Okay, let's reset that. So this is showing amber, that's correct. But with no fuel in the center tank, I don't think they should be showing amber over here, because amber normally indicates that something is wrong. So something is not in a status where it's supposed to be. While in this case, that certainly is in a status where it's supposed to be. But let's keep monitoring the fuel like this for a few moments, because I want to see if it is now exclusively using fuel from the right side, which seems to be the case. The left is constant here, the right is flowing, okay. Well, then pumps back on, thrust feed off, and that's back to normal. Let's give ourselves another direct, because I don't want to fly that many turns over here. So, direct to... let's go all the way to Golko. Insert. So let's see, Golko minus level 140, that is correct. Speed limit point, Vipper. Interesting. Why is the speed limit point showing 220 knots over there? Can anybody explain that? So then we have Vipper, 417, 416, 415, 455 and Black 2. Okay, that looks roundabout alright if you ask me. So, do we have a top of descent indication somewhere? Yeah, TD is on here, but I'm kind of missing it on the navigation display. Put it to 120 miles. Ah, there it is. Okay. That airport map is annoying. Let's get rid of it. I'd rather take my VORs or something then. Okay, so that's our top of descent, slowly closing in. So let's start doing a little bit of stuff. So, ECA memo, check weather and landing information. Let's get ourselves the latest weather. Menu, ACARS, HOTAS, We're looking for Cologne, send messages, and here we go. So we have Cav OK, 12086, 10 degrees, 1032, no sig. Okay, so it is going to be runway 14 left then. So, landing elevation. Note, if QFE is used, set 0 on landing elevation counter. Well, we don't expect to use QFE today, we'll stay in QNH. So that is fine for us. Then, FMS program. Enter the expected arrival and approach into the F-plan page. That is pretty much what we just did. If landing in the 1520 config, select 1520 on FMS approach page and use pedestal GPWS selector. Well, let's go with the full config. Enter MDA on FMS approach page. So approach MDA for this one is 430. And we are going to use 3040. Wind correction, let's take 5. Modify secondary flight plan as necessary. Let's see, secondary. Can we just recopy that? Let's clear that and copy active. Oh no, what's going on now? That is not good. Come on, FMC. Oh no, I think I broke the FMC. Is the other one still working? Really? Come on. You can't do this to me, please. Guys, has anybody seen this before? Did we literally just hang up our FMCs? Come on, my friend, you can't do that to me. Please. Okay, it is doing it to me. And what's this doing? Okay, we have frozen all our instruments here. Look at that. Nothing is indicating correctly anymore. Standby instruments tell me that we are in a slightly left turn. Everything has frozen up. Okay, the systems have totally frozen up here. Look at that. Not even my Yoke is reacting anymore. That is lovely. So we're down to standby instruments. Okay. Steve M, time to grab a hammer and... Yep. Let's see if we can fix that somehow. No? Okay. Well, let's see if we can get it to work on standby instruments. Oh no, we can't even put anything in here. Well, that seems like we have a problem. So does anybody have any ideas what we could do now? 737 and G123, VOR to VOR now. Goodwin, can't you fix the systems in the EFB? If you have any idea how we can do that, please let me know. Is there anything in here? Come on, there has to be something. There has to be something. Link instruments, well, that was not it, but we just reset that. Anything? No, nothing. Okay, let's keep playing. We can't even reset that in flight, okay. Let's see what else we have. Marvin, try the ready for takeoff option. Well, if I do that, we are of course going to lose pretty much anything. And Daniel, lol, you're the real life pilot and you're asking us what to do now. Yeah. Oh, well, I guess that's it. Hello there. Well, welcome to somewhere in Germany, I guess. Well, oopsie. Okay, so what are we gonna do now? Oleg, try hitting escape and then going back in. Okay, let's try that. Escape, resume. No. No. That's not working. What else can we do? Well, I don't have too many ideas, to be honest. Steve M, an Airbus lawnmower courtesy of Asobo. Yep. Okay, well, I'm open for suggestions. Shall we try just to go back to the main menu and restart another flight? Or shall we try to try another aircraft? But I think we'll just go about trying another flight, shall we? So let's go back to the main menu. I don't see how we could rescue this anymore. But let's see. As we say in German, Übung macht den Meister. So we'll just have to try that once again. And aerodynamic simulation. What in the hell happened here? Okay, let me summarize that for you guys. What happened here is the moment I deleted the secondary flight plan, that was basically when all my systems just were lost. So the moment I resetted the secondary flight plan, everything just froze up. So let's try again. This time we'll put ourselves to Stuttgart. While this thing loads, let's quickly see where we're gonna fly to. Well, let's do Stuttgart to Munich. Probably one of the shortest flights we can possibly do, but I just wanna get that going now. I want to do a complete flight on this live stream. Even though it is kinda getting late, but nonetheless, I want to do a complete flight, so let's try one more time. So, depart, we'll go from Stuttgart to Munich. Let's see. Okay, systems working here again. That is good news already. That is some very good news already. So let's try one more time what we learned earlier on. At least this time the system setup should hopefully go quite a bit faster. Okay. 737 NG 123. No, I did not yet try the DC-3. Revo, did you insert the basic FMS information? Okay, so we have this now. Let's quickly do the most important stuff. In other words, let's quickly get the airplane loaded up. Well, and of course, probably first thing, cold and dark. Confirm. Cold and dark activated. Very good. Then weight and balance. Zero fuel weight, 110.5. So let's put that up. That's pretty fully loaded there. And we are set to need 8.1 tons of fuel. Let's take an extra round, 30 minutes, 2 tons more, so let's go with 10 tons. Apply to aircraft, okay. Very good, then. Second attempt. Let's hope we don't need to make use of third time's the charm today. So, batteries. On. Hydraulic panel. Off. Wiper switches. Off. Gear lever. Down. Flap slat handle. In agreement with the indicator, so retracted, retracted. Reverse levers. Idle. Fuel levers. Off. Weather radar. Down here is off. APU fire test. Okay, that was beeping. I guess that's all we need. Then external power is available on. APU. Inner tank number 2. That's up here. On. APU. Master switch on. And start. Getting lots of warnings. I guess that is to be expected. Then on the IRSs, they were up here. So nav, nav, and nav. Battery operated, light on and off again. Then oxygen low pressure supply switch on, annunciator lights test. That used to be down here. And that is all working, okay. And VHF radios as required. Let's go back to our main seat. So, FMC status page. We have the General Electric Engines database is current. Let's go in it. Okay, Stuttgart to Munich, alternate Nuremberg. That works good enough for me. Align IRS. Cost index, let's try 50. Cruise level 210. Wow, that is rather high for this flight. And we'll be the world travel 310 once more. Cruise wind 093 at 15. Okay, then, systems. No smoking on, seatbelts on. Hydraulic power, everything is off. Servo control panel checked. Flight recorder on ground. Let's go ahead up here. Lights, strobes in auto, nav logo on, anti-ice off. Those go on. We'll switch on our galley. And in here everything was supposed to be normal. Then APU is available. That's good. Then let's put the packs. Well, they don't go to econ now, but APU bleed on. That should give us some air conditioning. Okay, so fuel pumps all on. Up here there wasn't anything to do. Let's go from here then. Operating system 1, that's all set. The window heat can go on, the probe heat as well. And nothing to do up here. And finally on the side over here, that's open, so the cross bleed is open, that's showing. Those are all in the middle, that's on CRT. Pack temp in auto, and that is it. Why don't we have Why is the FCU not lit up now? Did we miss something again? We must have missed something. The FCU is dark, and the trims just go off again. What have we missed? Any suggestions? I'm sure there will be some among you who have flown this plane in X-plane. I mean, it could of course be because the IRS is not aligned yet. Let's wait a short while and see what is gonna happen. We do have power, that's for sure, so that's not the issue. Well, I guess we are going to find out. What do we have down here? APU running, power connected, so parking brake, seatbelts, and IRS in a line. Okay. Okay, wait for the IRS to be aligned. Thank you very much, guys. Gonna keep that in mind. So, and is it normal that the FCU is not indicating anything in that time as well? Can you just confirm that? So, landing elevation 1500 then. I'll just do the rest of that stuff now. I'm just a little bit, you know, afraid that we might run into some problems again, if you know what I mean. And I don't want to waste my time. If I have to restart the simulator for the plane to work again, then I'd rather do that. But at least down here, everything does seem to be working, so... Let's see. Stuttgart, wind 060. Yep, that helps. Okay, so sit runway 07 and we'll fly the Uptal departure. Uptal for hotel, insert. And from there, Lima 173 towards Rixet. Yankee 161 Delta. And then Tango 107 Rockhill. And finally, in Munich, we will land on the ILS 8 left with the Rockhill 08 transition. Can't we enter that without a star? That would be unfortunate. Yeah. Well, that is unfortunate, because on quite some airports in the world you only use the transitions without the stars. Well, let's see what that looks like now. So, Rockhill marking the Quebec Rockhill, okay, well then, gonna delete this, and gonna delete the discontinuity. Okay, that seems to look better. Okay, happy with that. So let's see, block fuel, 10.3, zero fuel, we have over here 10.7, or 110.7, which is in, and a CG of 24.1. Okay. Extra fuel, 1.7 tons, 23 minutes. Optimum flight level 364. Well, I doubt it. Looking at a ground distance of 140 miles. So, I kinda doubt that. But anyway, let's just about take it from here. Also time to look up some takeoff data then. So, how long is that runway? Well, that's the question. We can't access any charts in here, can we? Well, at least not that I know. And guys, some of you watching, like, how can you do that stuff so quickly? Well, to be honest, this is by far not the first airplane that I'm learning. So, you know, that means I have a basic idea, basic understanding of how those aircraft usually work. So, you know, like in an Airbus, you just switch everything on. So, and we just went through the complete checklist, didn't we? So we do have a basic idea and a basic understanding of how the airplane should operate. So that certainly helps. And yeah, I tend to say that I'm just very good at remembering things. So I'm very good at remembering those procedures. So 3345, runway QDM 072, taking that from the Navigraph charts right now. I'm gonna do a full tutorial, guys, in the hopefully not so far future, where I'm gonna explain you how to do all this stuff. So you can expect the full tutorial to come. 060 at 2. Temperature 5 and 1033, okay. Then weight of the plane, what do we have here? 120.9. Flaps out, anti-ice on, air conditioning on. Let's calculate that. 120.9, okay. No? So, perfect, that's better. Let's see what a higher flap setting gives us. No, okay, then we'll just about stay here. So, 155, 157, 161. Now the IRS is aligned, but I still don't have the FCU lighting up. That any known problem? Guys, does anybody know why? Look, this should be working as well, shouldn't it? Oh no, don't tell me that it's once again not working. I mean, it seems like it is taking inputs. We are seeing an increase in the altitude here on the PFD. We're just not seeing any indication up here. Is there any switch we have to turn on? Any lights or so? Any ideas, guys? I'll quickly enter this. 155, 57, 61. Try pressing left alt plus mouse click on some of the autopilot displays. Knob center bottom of MCP. Well, that doesn't seem to do the trick here. Left alt and pressing on them isn't working either. Any further recommendations on how to get the MCP to light up? And can we switch those on in the meantime? Ah, okay. So, note to all of us, you have to have the pitch trim switches up here on in order for the MCP to light up. Oh, sorry, for the FCU to light up. It's an Airbus after all. Okay. That is nice to know. So remember that, guys. If your FCU doesn't light up, it's because you don't have the switches up here on. Always good to have something like that in mind. Okay, and finally 1033 we set. Giving us an elevation of 1300, so let's make this 2300 for the acceleration on both sides. Okay, I think that's the FMC setup completed. Heading can go to 072, which is our runway heading. Okay, let's start with the checklist. Before start checklist, cockpit prep complete, signs, on auto, fuel quantity, 10.3 tons, navigation checked set, landing elevation 1500 feet set, altimeters 1033 set, and brakes any skid normal and on. Before start checklist complete. Carsten, not a bomb. Any build FAQ. My FCU displays are blank. Okay. I fell for it. I fell for it. But anyway. So, I had to fall for it, did I? Anyway, I would say we are pretty much good to go. So let's go ahead and so let's check the takeoff warning. Config warning. Works. Then we don't need that external power anymore. That's what we wanted. Prepare for pushback and departure. Doors should be all closed, and they are. Yep, everything green. Okay, so beacon on, park and brake on, and that's all we need to do. Let's start engine number 2. So start A and start engine 2. N2. Oil pressure, N1. We have 20%. Fuel on. So that sounded like the generator coming online. Monitor engine number 2. 2 stable. Start number 1. And 2. Oil pressure, N1. 20%. Fuel on. And that's 2 good starts, okay. Then, after start, ignition, off, APU bleed, off, APU master, off, anti-ice, on, speed brake, armed, rudder trim, reset 0, flaps, into the takeoff position, and for the trim, we said we need 1.4 up. So that's 1.4 up. After start checklist. Pitch trim. Set. Rudder trim. 0. Spoilers. Armed. Flaps slats. We have 15-15. Ecam status. Checked. Anti-ice on. Hand signal received. After start checklist complete. Okay, then. Clear on the left. Clear on the right. Lights on, brakes off. Plane starts rolling by itself, brake check. And here we go. So, flight control. Oh, it doesn't change automatically, okay. Then flight control check. Full up. Pull down, neutral, left, right, neutral, rudder, left. And we're going to do the right side in a moment. Okay, and rudder right, neutral. So we'll take profile, we'll take nav. Transponder can go on and weather radar can go on. Takeoff config test. Turns out normal. Okay, before takeoff checklist down to the line. Flight controls checked, briefing confirmed, slats flaps, 15-15. Performance FMAs. So performance 55, 57, and then we need 161. Okay, and 161. Takeoff config check, transponder set before takeoff checklist is completed down to the line. So let's give that thing another try. And Aviation 050, I'll show you wing view in a few moments. Okay, so then let's line up. In the meantime, line up actions, brake fan off, lights. On, ignition, it's not needed, packs on, and TCAS Tara. Okay, below the line, cabin secure, TCAS Tara, packs off, ignition off, anti-ice on, before takeoff checklist complete. So let's go for a second. What is this? Why is there an approach light on the runway? Come on, Asobo. Good job. Good job. Anyway. Timing. So, 40%. Stabilized. Set takeoff thrusts. Takeoff thrust set, indications normal. And I should have selected my flex temperature. I forgot that. Well, 100 knots. More thrust certainly can't hurt. V1, rotate. So we're looking for 12.5 degrees, and then with the SRS mode, 12.5 we have, so up to SRS. Gear up, positive rate. So let's give that auto throttle a second, that autopilot a second chance. Command 1. We do have climb thrust. It is slowly but steadily pitching down. We're above the F speed, so flaps retract. And the flaps are coming up. And slats retract. That's looking good. So, cruise level 210, let's go all the way up. And we have flaps up, no lights. So, climb mode is verified, gear lever off. Set standard. Passing 4.2, climbing a bit higher. Did you just see it bank right when we overflew the Delta Sierra 030 point? I believe I saw that on a couple of default autopilots already. So, well, who knows what it's using. Anyway, we're outside the icing conditions, anti-ice off. Tax light and turn off lights off. So let's do the after takeoff checklist. Slats flaps, retracted, landing gear, up, neutral, packs, both on, and altimeters set standard. After takeoff climb checklist complete. Alright, so we are flying once again. And Semi and Metal Eye, that's an interesting discussion there. Is this a study level add-on? And Metal Eye replying, please stop saying study level, I can't hear it anymore. Only the real thing of our simulations are study level, but yes, it's high fidelity. Yeah, I do fully agree this is high fidelity, for sure. Now, study level, you can study with it, but you know, you can't do a complete type rating with it, I'm sure. But nonetheless, we saw on the earlier flight already that basically all the knobs seem to be doing something, and they do seem mostly alright. But what we did also notice is that there were a couple of things that, you know, could have been better, like the pressurization system. So if you go a little bit back in the live stream, then you are going to see it. And by the way, did you just see that passing level 100 our speed increased? But I think I just remember why it didn't on the earlier stream. I believe we had a 250 knot speed restriction on that SID. So might have been my mistake there. Pilot error. Right, I promised earlier on that we would have a look into the cabin once again, so why not as well just do it now? The plane is climbing nicely, but we will have a rather short cruise, so if we want to have that look into the cabin, let's actually do it now. And by the way, in case somebody asked again, yes, we do have sunshades. And we do also have this cabin. Which, by the way, in my opinion, is the best looking cabin that we have in any Microsoft Flight Simulator aircraft. So just look at the details here. Let's sit down somewhere next to the wing and to the engine. We have this. Is that working? No, okay. That would have been too nice. Anyway, we have some general flight data up here. The overall model is of really good quality, as we can see. And let's go somewhere towards the wings. That looks good. A wing exit is always nice. That's what it looks like on the wing view. You see that wing flags? That is pretty well done. First time for me seeing it as well. Overall, I have to say, this looks really cool. Fly 01, does a weather radar work in the 310? And Konali, 333 seating in an A310 must be a low-cost carrier. I guess so. I definitely guess so. Then, Daniel, check the clip in your Discord. Okay, let's have a look. You're asking us what to do now. Well, if I do that, we are of course going to lose pretty much anything. And Daniel, lol, you're the real life pilot and you're asking us what to do now. Yeah. Oh, well, I guess that's it. Oh yeah, that's what I call timing. That's what I call timing, my friend. That's gonna be the clip of the day. We gotta put that one up as my channel's primary video after this one. We gotta do that. John, how do you like the 310 until now? Well, as long as everything works, it certainly has the best cabin in the industry, as you can see. And my first impression when I did my first flight was that everything pretty much seemed to work the way it was designed to work. So my overall first impression was rather good. Now let's just about go into that flight deck, see what it's doing here. Let's see if we can also do an approach with it without killing ourselves. Yes, guys, you know me saying that, and you know what happened last time. So, Alt Star. I have a feeling we can start our descent straight away again. But let's quickly let the airplane level off here. Did it draw any top of descent for us? Yeah, way down on the transition. No, we aren't gonna do that. We certainly aren't gonna do that. Let's see, Rockhill at 110 maybe? Did it not take that? Doesn't it take inputs? Or do we have to do it here? Ah, I think we have to do it here. Okay, then Rockhill 110 below. Let's put that in. Where's our top of descent? Ah, just over here. Okay. So that's looking better if you ask me. And then from Rockhill we'll help ourselves towards Margot. Okay, so we have rather little time available now to set up the descent preparation. So let's see, what do we have to do? Enter the expected arrival and approach into the F-plan page. We've done that. Check the FMS approach page, and we have an MDA 1690. We'll take a 5-knot wind correction and flap 30 landing. That looks about alright. Enter the descent wind on the forecast. Okay, where do we find the forecast? well, just 17 knots. We just don't care. Might not exactly fly the target speed then, but, you know. So, profile descent, let's take it down to level 110. VDEF is coming on here. Let's see how the VNAV is gonna work. I think it should do 1,000 feet a minute until it intercepts this. It probably should, but we'll see in a moment. Then DH should only be set for precision approaches with a decision height. For approaches using MDA, DH should be set to -5 and deselected. Okay, so then we have DH up here, and we'll set that one to 50 feet as we'll be doing a Cat 3 Alpha approach. Okay, and we are intercepting our descent profile. Very good. So, auto brake, let's use low. Flaps bridge as required, approach briefing as required. Well, we have briefed our approach, haven't we? Put the signs on. Connection lost. That lovely stuff starts again. Microsoft servers probably being overloaded, but doesn't matter too much. We'll just click it away. John, no, I'm not flying on VATSIM right now. Probably tomorrow. I guess tomorrow I am going to do a stream with the A310 online. And Kanali, does the operation feel more Boeing-like or more Airbus-like? If I'm totally honest with you, it feels kinda more Airbus-like. Yeah, you have a control column in front of you, but if we think that away for a second, then the FMS certainly looks like an early Airbus version. Nothing wrong with that. And the overhead pretty much, yeah, it is old school, but if you look at the general philosophies, then everything certainly seems a lot like Airbus and not like Boeing. So the overall philosophies here are definitely Airbus, you can tell that. Flight deck door open. Yeah. We're flying a 1970s airliner, we can certainly leave the flight deck door open. Anybody want to join the jump seat? Wish I was allowed to ask that in real life. I really wish I was. Well, for now, let's take it into heading select and level change. Let's see how well this Airbus can descend. We want to go down all the way to 5,000 feet. 3,500 feet a minute. Nice. Let's quickly request our destination weather. So 0603, 400 meters, 250 RVR, 450 neutral. Okay, so we should be just about fine with our approach. Just outside of the Cat 1 limits. So we should be doing well with the Cat 3 landing. Then let's do a direct to Margat. Insert. What's the progress saying? We are just slightly high. Okay, we're catching up with that. So we'll be on VNAV target again in a moment. In the meantime, what was the QNH once again? 1034. Here we go. Passing 11,000, descending 5,000, no flag stand by set. So let's start reducing our speed. 250 is what we're looking for. Let's see how well the A310 actually loses its speed. We're passing 10,000, so signs are on, the lights are going on. Let's try one more time. Direct to Margot, insert and nav. Might have to use some speed brake here to get down. Okay. And we might need a bit more speed brake. Let's go maximum. Well, we're gonna have a hard time slowing down, but we'll manage to do that somehow. In the meantime, ILS course is gonna be 080 and the frequency 109.5. Let's quickly go into heading mode once more. So heading select, we'll go to ILS down here. And here, I guess. Warthog armed, and we're just about passing the glide slope, that's good. Then we can start taking our speed back. 220. So speed brake in. And we're pretty much on the glide. Let's go flaps 15. Localizer alive. Land armed. Both autopilots on. Final approach on over here. Well, did we just turn off our auto throttle with that? Oops. I didn't mean to. Well, here we go again. Speed, alt star. Well, we should be catching up with the ILS any moment. Okay, you go down, my friend. You go down. Okay, glide slope, log star. 5,000 feet, missed approach altitude is set. We'll probably need a bit of speed brake to help it lose that speed. Approach checklist, signs, on, briefing. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Let's get rid of that speed brake then. So, briefing confirmed, ecam status, check, altimeters 1034 set, minimum is 50 feet decision height, ignition off, landing field elevation 1500 feet set. I need to slow this thing down a little bit. Can I help a little here? Yeah, okay, flap 15. That's an interesting speed indication here. Okay, and we're entering the mist, so engine anti-ice on. Probably clear to land at that point. Let's put the lights on as well. So this is going to be an auto landing. And flaps 20. Knee brakes can definitely go all the way back in. And armed. gear down. I have a bit of trouble slowing the plane down now, but it's probably just because I'm like miles behind it. And landing flaps. So approach speed we said 145. Okay, landing checklist. Landing gear, down, auto brake, low, anti-skid, checked, slats, flaps, 30, 40, spoilers, armed, landing checklist complete. And we're stable at just about 1,000 feet. So, Cap 3 is armed, Flight Director 1 dual. I'll put myself in a little higher seating position so that we can actually see our lights when they come in. So, looking forward to see how that's gonna go. Our first landing in the A310 and straight away an auto land in actual IMC. Land. My finger's on the toga button. Road lights inside. Continue. There we are. Retard, flare. Come on, put it down. We're down. Okay, speed brake up, thrust reverse normal. $80 knots, manual braking. Autopilot disengaged. Okay, we've made it. And man, that was a smooth landing. That was a really smooth landing. Very good job on that. Very, very good job on that. Let's vacate that runway completely. And we're all clear. Well, no, Cut 2 holding point is still here. Okay, we'll bring it all the way beyond the Cut 2 holding point, as we should be now. Park and brake set. Let's do some after landing stuff then. So, strobe light auto, landing lights off, nose lights taxi. Anti-ice, we'll keep that on, ignition off, APU. Start. Ground spoilers disarm, transponder. XPDR. Radar off. Pitch trim. 1 degree nose up, they say, okay. So 1 degree nose up. Slats flaps, retract to 0. And brake temperature monitor. Well, under 20 degrees doesn't seem too bad. Okay, after landing checklist. Slats flaps. Retracting, transponder. XPDR, weather radar off. Spoilers, disarmed, APU, starting. After landing checklist complete, then let's taxi to the gate. Yannis, can you try GSX at the gate? Yeah, I can give it a try there. Well, I have to find the gate first. Where are we? Alpha 10. Okay, so we gotta go to the right then. Guess we can switch the flight directors off as well. Always a good idea going 30 knots in low visibility conditions. Don't quote me on that one. So again, I have to be really gentle here on the brakes. So I'm barely touching them at all right now, and the speed is reducing really quickly. So this airplane certainly seems to have some very, very strong brakes. Let's bring it down to 10 knots, like this. Okay. Sammy, yes, I am in live weather and we are in Munich. Echo Delta Delta Mike. So we'll go straight ahead and take one of the gates on the left hand side there. APU is running, very good. Then we'll take one of the gates on the left there. Okay, second one looks good. Let's go slow into that gate. I have no idea about the turn radius of this aircraft, but looks like the general procedure works kind of well. Like just turn the flight deck over the line. Yeah, a little bit to the right of the line, but that is all right-ish. Okay, so stay tuned for a moment. As soon as the airplane is shut down, I'm going to give you my overall first feedback of the A310. So just bear with me for a short moment, and as soon as the plane is shut down, I am going to give you my general feedback of my 1.5 flights that I've done. Guidance system not working, fine enough. Okay, park and brake set, then let's shut the plane down. Nose light, turn off lights off, park and brake set, APU bleed on. So, engine fuel levers off. Oh, what's that? Nope, thanks. That click spot here was a little annoying. So, elapsed time off, 33 minutes. And 2 below 20, beacon can go off. Anti-ice can go off, seatbelt sign off. Parking brake stays set, fuel pumps off. Accept what we need for the APU. So like this, I guess. Probe heat off. And IRS as required. Well, we're gonna shut those down as well. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, brake fans maybe turned off when the temperature is below 100 degrees or to reduce ramp noise. Well, since the aircraft is gonna stay here, We'll keep him off in order to reduce ramp noise. So, parking checklist. APU bleed, on, engines, off. Differential pressure, 0. Lights and signs, off as required. Fuel pumps, off. Window and probe heat. Interesting, we turn the window heat off as well. That's kind of unexpected. Warning, offline services, online services unreachable. Okay, well, looks like the Microsoft server is offline again. Anyway, after the flight I don't care about that anymore. And parking brake and shocks are set. That's the parking checklist complete. So we'll quickly try out GSX now. So I'm now going to start the Throttle engine, which I had previously turned off because, well, I was a little afraid it might act up. So let's see. GSX, request deboarding. What is gonna happen? So, I promised you my feedback about the Airbus. So let's have a look. Overall, I have to say I have a really good impression with it. So, the systems, well, you can operate pretty much everything here. Oh look, the doors are actually operating. Do we get a jetway as well? Probably not. Can we get rid of that stupid message anyway, by any chance? Well, come on, just go away message. We have understood it. Oh, that's, well, welcome to GSX, guys, I told ya. I told ya. Anyway, overall, except for the fact that there are no jetways docked to the airplane, that does look quite alright. Containers are docking well. Okay, no comment on the bulk hold over here. Just no comment on that. But yeah, overall first impression of the Airbus. It is very good. And I'm going to do another live stream with it tomorrow, hopefully with a little bit more manual flying in it then. And apart from that, I would say that I can very much recommend you to try out the Airbus. The only thing I would ask you to not use now is the secondary flight plan. Actually, you know what? Let's see if we can recreate the earlier issue. I'm gonna put something in, like Munich to... come on. Munich to Cologne. And just give me some sort of a routing here. I don't really care what you're putting in right now. So, secondary copy active. And now secondary clear. No, now it worked. Okay, then I don't know what caused it earlier on. But now it seems to work. So yeah, my first impression is really good. The airplane looks superb. The airplane seems to fly rather well, for as long as the systems don't freeze up. And the sounds are really nice as well. So, my first impression is a definite recommendation, and honestly I would have recommended this one even if it cost a couple euros as well. In fact, quite a few euros. And Daniel, I don't know what the landing rate was, but if you go back a little bit in the stream, the thing put it on the ground so smoothly. I mean, it flapped too far, that is for sure. But it was very, very smooth. And Captain Iron, anyone else have the problem of no cabin? How do I see the cabin? You need to go to the marketplace and download that extended A310. It is for free, but you should download that one. It gives you better textures in the overall airplane, and it also gives you that cabin. It does cost a few frame rates though. And Flying Hazard, I think you should try to dock the jetway before deboarding. I do normally agree with you, but you know, I would normally say that GSX should kinda do that itself. Let's see, operate jetway, nothing. But I mean, when we request deboarding, then GSX should still connect that jetway on its own, should it? Anyway, that would be asking for too much. Let's shut the airplane down. IRS. Off. True oxygen. Off. Exterior lights. All off. CRTs. A way to turn them off a bit quicker. So we have those. Where are the brightness selectors for the... Come on, where are the dimmers for the E-cams? Ah, here they are. Off and off. Then APU bleed off. External power is recommended to use until the APU shutdown is complete. Well, let's get ourselves an external power unit then. GPU. Connected. So, APU off. And it doesn't tell me to wait. Okay, then. Emergency exit lights disarmed. Batteries off. And here we go. Securing checklist. Nav systems. All off. Oxygen. Off. APU bleed. Off. Emergency exit lights. Disarmed. APU and battery. Off. Alright then. Thank you very much, Airbus. It was a very nice, well, first and a half flight. Certainly gonna do some more tomorrow, so you can definitely expect the live stream coming up. But for now, I would like to thank you very much for joining, and if you do want to support the channel, you can do that through either the Buy Me a Coffee link in the video description below, or if you like to, also through the super chat here on YouTube. But for now, I definitely enjoyed this one, but I'm gonna catch a little bit of rest now, and tomorrow we are going to do some more Airbus flying. Thank you very much for watching, everyone.